welcome to episode 16 of Sincerely.
Tu Prima.
I am Jess.
Y yo soy Sam, y nosotras somos your hosts. Uy,
Welcome.
welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. This week felt a little rough. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that cartoon kind of like that always like shows you like rolling down from like a hill, y como que caes, and you're literally just like,
Yeah.
the heck did just happen? And that's how it feels.
Yes. And I don't know what it was. We had when Sam texted me to see if we could reschedule, I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so great. And like we try to not have to like
Yeah.
reschedule because we're on a schedule and stuff, but sometimes we just have those days where like we're dealing with so many things and it's just crazy. But
Yeah.
everything worked out.
And as per usual, I'm usually the one asking to reschedule because my life is chaotic. You guys already know that. We're still recording the same day, but I was like, can we just push it to a later time? And even then, I'm still late. Do
30
not have
minutes
children.
later.
For the 1,000th time, do not have children. Just kidding. Do not have children if you're busy, pretty much, or if you have a lot on your list.
Yes.
Anyways, that's not today's topics, but we should probably jump on with our desahogos.
Yes, yours is great. So you go first.
How like is it?
Yes.
Oh God. Okay. Well, the thing, guys, is that I am graduating. I'm graduating this Saturday. So
Yay.
as you guys are watching this, I am going to be walking. I was going to say walking down the aisle.
Wrong aisle. Walking down the stage.
Oh God. Yeah, literally. I'm getting my my diplomas down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say certificates.
Which is so crazy because when did we go that we like got a cake and everything to celebrate that you were like officially done with all your credits, like you got everything ready for graduation? It was like in August last year, right?
Yeah. Was it for the Rebelde concert?
I think so.
Oh, I think we did. Yeah, so that's when I officially graduated, guys. A fun fact is that I've been in college forever and I have so many certificates that I have obtained through the years because of all of the courses I've taken. But I was going for criminology and so society, I guess. It just fell apart into like I discovered that I had a love for society. As a career. I'm like, I don't know if like in person, but as a career. And so that's what I ended up graduating in August. Yeah, criminology, and society. Am I saying that? No, not society. Oh my God, I'm stupid and I graduated in
sociology?
Sociology, yes. Oh my God, I'm telling you, I have so much in my head. So yes, not society. No wonder I was like, no, but I don't like society. Sociology. Yeah, so that's like I guess my minor in. And I am finally graduating, man, which it's been so long that I even forgot what I was graduating in.
I know, that's why I was like, when was it that we like did a mini like little celebration that you told us you were like officially done? But oh my gosh, yeah, months later, here we are, and I wish I could be there with you, but I know, you're gonna. Oh, it's just so exciting! I don't even have words for it. I'm like, oh, finally done.
I know, finally done. And like, okay, I do want to take like a little step back to what you said because literally, like, I did not celebrate at all, guys, that I had graduated last year in August. And Jessica was literally the one that was like, "What are you talking about? We literally need to get you a cake and at least like cut a cake for you and celebrate you." So shout out to you because it meant a lot. I was like, okay, I guess it is important.
I know. I'm like, what do you mean? You're done and you're not gonna do anything? Like, it's such a big accomplishment.
It is a huge accomplishment.
With on top of like all the other hats that you wear too as a person, like for you to be like done with one of them and then, like moving on, like it's so big.
I know, which you're gonna laugh out loud at this, but I just registered for school again. So
yeah, no, that's great. Literally keep going if you can.
Oh gosh. So yeah, but I'm just so proud of myself, I guess, because it just it's not easy. And like Jessica said, I mean, out of everyone, like, I mean, child, of course, but you know how much I do. So like, just being able to say, like, I was able to do that on top of everything else that I
Mm-hmm.
get to do. I guess like that was the accomplishment. And I always wanted to graduate in criminology, or it's not the same as criminal justice, but it's along the line. So, I don't
Yes.
know if I pull you over in the future. Just kidding.
Say hi.
Just say hi. I'm pretty nice.
Say you saw me from the podcast.
Please. Oh, if you mention the podcast, I won't give you a ticket. Just kidding. That's illegal. Oh,
Imagine
God.
you're like, okay, you're fine.
Okay, just take this as a warning, okay?
In that case.
In that case. Oh, goodness, that's so funny.
Yeah.
No, do not work me on that, but oh my God, me.
Yeah.
But okay, enough of me. I want to know yours. I'm like, I feel like this weekend was so chaotic in both of our lives, so we haven't really like talked about what's actually going on.
Yeah, no. This weekend it was busy. I'm gonna like rewind it back to one of our last episodes. If you heard, I don't remember what episode it was, but I mentioned that we went to Seattle and there was like no flowers, and I was very, very disappointed. Because that's the reason why I go to Seattle. We went this weekend for my mom's birthday. That's what she wanted to do. She's never been, which I was like, what do you mean you've never been to Seattle? So we took that as like our job, for her birthday. I'm like, that's where we're gonna go. So we took her for the day, and I got my flowers. So I'm super excited. I was in love with all the beautiful flowers. But yeah, I just wanted to like do another wrap around on that and bring that back because I got my flowers after all.
You're so cute. Like, I really wish I could like squish you like right now. Just be like, you're so cute. Like, it's hilarious. It's so hilarious because I always say like we're so similar but also so different because you're literally driving 4 hours to go get your flowers, and it literally like speaks to your soul. It makes you so happy, and I'm just like, Jessica, come on.
Yes.
You're like, I got my flowers, okay?
Yeah, like that was the highlight of the trip, to be honest. I mean, Seattle is beautiful and it's great, but I'm like, I look forward to getting the flowers.
I know. You're like, Tia, mommy, por favor, okay? I'm so glad that I get to spend this time with you in Seattle, and I got to, take you on this trip to Seattle. Pero mis flores. Así que, tía.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you got my tia some flowers.
That's what I was going to say. I got her some flowers too. I was not going to let her walk out without her first Seattle bouquet. God. So
I'm pretty sure you at least had 3 of them in the back seat. At least. Oh my God, you're hilarious.
But yeah, no, it was really nice. It was raining, but what can we expect?
Oh, you know what? And like low-key, I kind of been wanting to go to Seattle when it's like all gloomy and like raining like that. So we might. Yeah. You never know.
I mean, I don't know if in June it will be.
I know.
Who knows? I feel like Pacific Northwest weather is like someday, like one week it's like 70 degrees, another week it's like back to like 55. So you never know.
Oh God, that's pretty nice though. But we'll see in June, I guess. But yeah. Hi guys, you guys can tell we haven't really spoken this week because we can go on and on about anything and everything.
I know, but it's kind of good because I feel like we kind of could just all catch up. When we talked, I think last week before the episode, I was like, we should have just filmed this as our episode because we were on the phone for like 2 hours.
Oh, I know, you told me, and I was like, literalmente. Pero es que hay cosas que no se pueden poner out in the world. Because I was like, this was such a good one. But then I was like, what do we want? Do we want to put this out in the world?
I know, literally.
I know.
But yeah, no, we both have some pretty good This How It Goes, but I still think that Sam's was like number 1 because it's just so exciting.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess in a way it's like a big accomplishment, but I feel like your flowers just speak to your soul, so I always think that's cute.
I wish I could just give you some flowers on Saturday.
Ay, amo, gracias.
I know.
Virtual flowers.
Literally. I'm just gonna send you a bouquet emoji on Saturday.
No, imagine. Yo be like, aquí están tus flores y di que te fue bien. Ay, no.
Nosotros con nuestras ocurrencias.
As per usual.
But yes, anyways, we should probably get into our topic this week.
Please.
Um yeah, so this week's topic, we kind of wanted to go along with the marriage theme, and I feel like this kind of goes into like that next step, like after you get married, because like it's
Mm-hmm.
something that I've been seeing more on social media too, but it's not something you
Yeah.
necessarily probably discuss with your partner. So the topic is basically who comes first, your mom, your wife, or your kids. So we're gonna give like our woman's perspective on this, because I think this is more like a question for men for some reason. Like I've seen more men asking
Mm-hmm.
themselves this question, so I feel like we're gonna give
Mm-hmm.
our woman perspective on this.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you go first since we're in like the marriage topic, just because I want to know what your thoughts are right now
Okay.
prior to kids, like before having kiddos.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I feel like not a lot, because a lot of people probably would say your kids come first, like before
Mm-hmm.
anybody else. But it's good for us to answer it, because I feel like like you said, we don't have any children, so we don't have any intake on how we would feel at that point. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, at least, I would think your wife comes before your mom. And I
Mm-hmm.
say that because I feel like you made the decision to move on from your family. You chose this person to create a life with. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like now it's your turn to, like, be build that life with your wife now. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
I get everyone's perspective on like being um like your mom's always going to love you, like it's your family and all of that, but like you
Mm-hmm.
made the decision to now move on and get married. So I feel like now you need to
Mm-hmm.
worry about like your wife, your own new family that you're starting to build.
Yeah, like you're stepping away from like your mom because you're ready to pretty much fly out of like el nido, ready, pretty much and
Literally.
start your
Yeah.
own family. So you need to prioritize that.
Yes. And now if we had
Mm-hmm.
children, um I feel like it would still be the same. I think
Mm-hmm.
once children are in the picture, then it would be your
Mm-hmm.
wife, your children, and then your mom. And I say that because I
Oh.
feel like the way I see it is your wife is always going to be there for you. Your children are
Mm-hmm.
eventually going to leave you and build their own
Mm-hmm.
lives, and like the law of life is your mom probably is
Yeah.
going to go first. She's going to leave you too. But yeah, then
Yeah.
your wife, your mom's probably going to leave you, and then it's just going to be you and your
Yeah.
wife. So it's tough, and I
Oh.
totally see like another person's perspective, because I love my family. Like I always like
Mm-hmm.
want to run to my mom or my dad and like literally tell them everything. So it's like I can see why
Mm-hmm.
people might want to like, like, oh no, I would rather do everything with my family first than before my
Yeah.
wife.
Damn. That is like yeah, I guess I can go into it when it's my turn. But you literally like hearing you talk about it, like me puso mucho a pensar and like just look at it like a little bit more. Like I had heard like kind of like the similar opinions to yours before, but I feel like it also gave me, because I know you, like, personally, so I feel like I was able to like kind of see that more into like a perspective, like in the actual real life.
Hmm.
And it's, yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. And it I don't know. Like it is really really rough to think, but if you really think about it, like once you're married, you chose that person for your
Yeah.
life. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
like you can't look at it in a perspective of somebody that you're literally just dating, because
Yeah.
you don't know what your future holds. But
Exactly.
if you're married, you chose that
Mm-hmm.
person. So I feel like you're
Yeah.
going to, no matter what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're having issues or something, like you don't want to be on your mom's side, because you're going to go back home and you're going to have to deal with your wife. Like it's the person you live with
Yeah.
100% of the time. Like if there's an issue with your parents or something like that, like you can easily just go back home and you don't have to, deal with them like
Yeah.
all day. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's just really hard, and I've like and it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean you have to forget about your parents, because
Yeah,
you
no.
don't. Like they're still going to be in your life, but it's more of like you need to put your
Yeah.
own family first now, because you are no longer a
Mm-hmm.
part of their family, and it's like really hard
Mm-hmm.
to hear, but everybody
It's true.
since we've gotten married, yeah, no, and everyone since we've gotten married, like even our lawyer has told us, like she asked us the question, and that's really what put it in perspective for us. I feel like she said,
Yeah.
"Who is your family?" And we
Yeah.
automatically think of our parents or siblings,
Uh-huh.
but no, she was like, your family now is Edward. It's not your parents, it's not your sisters, like it's you and Edward
Mm-hmm.
now. And
That's so
that was like, oh my gosh,
true.
that's literally true. Like it's just us. We became one,
Yeah.
and it's just us now.
Yeah. And I feel like into that because lo que se me vino a la mente, and that's why I was like, let me just say it. I feel like too, I guess if you don't prioritize like your wife, like I guess like your wife over like your mom, it's also when it comes down to decision making. And because also like I feel like once you let your mom in, um como que a veces obviamente nuestras mamás siempre nos van a aconsejar y van a opinar
Mm-hmm.
thinking of our lo mejor para nosotros, like the best for us, but not
Mm-hmm.
the best for our partners.
Yes.
So then that's where it becomes like not fair for the other person. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
when that happens and there's couples or parejas that listen to their mothers, and so the relationship starts getting a little bit rocky. I feel just because
Mm-hmm.
of that, because they're not really like looking at your needs and wants and what works for you. They're only looking at what works for their son or daughter.
Yeah, exactly. And it's gonna sound really bad, but like that's why your family should never be involved in your decisions as a
Mm-hmm.
couple, because that's like you said it, that's when it gets
Yeah.
rocky, that's when the problems start.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually when like people split up because they have all these arguments because la
Yeah.
suegra or somebody is like constantly
Mm-hmm.
like helping them make the decisions, or sometimes not even helping them but just like keeping like telling them and all of this
Yeah.
stuff, and it just starts problems that are unnecessary because it's a decision between two people, not three.
Exactly. Like una pareja de dos, no más.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, damn.
I know. And it's like
You're kidding.
yeah, no, it's really sad to hear too, like I said, but it's like also when we
Yeah.
got married, la lectura de nosotros decía que el hijo debe dejar a su padre y a su madre para
Uh-huh.
irse con su esposa y convertirse en uno. So it's literally the law of life. So
Of life. I guess it's like so true because if you put it into the perspective, like even though we love our moms and like our family, like our siblings, I feel
mhm.
like how you put it in perspective of like you still go back home to your significant other, and that's who you continue to make life and decision with and you live
Mhm.
with, like to share. And then I guess like parents at that point become a temporary place, kind of like where you go and visit or you go and like if you need something for support or whatever. Y
Mhm.
como que es bonito tener esa conexión y no como conexión. How do I want to say in Spanish?
Relación?
Yeah, kind of like that relationship, como esa relación con tus papás donde tú sabes que puedes contar con ellos,
Mhm.
pero también que tus papás entiendan que tienen que respetar tu relación y tu familia para que también tu nueva familia pueda funcionar. Like they also need to
Mhm.
be supportive in that and understanding that ya no es que lo que ellos te van a decir porque ya you are uniting life. But I feel like you are at that point, like now creating your own costumbres and your own family, trying to break whatever cycles that we have talked about before. So in order for that to be successful for the both of you,
Mhm.
then that's where like your alternative family, like your parents and your siblings have to kind of like be, I don't want to say like even second choice, but like it's not your priority. I guess they don't come first
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah, their problems are no longer your problems.
Ay, that's so hard, but that's another topic.
Yes. I know we can get into that too. Because
Ay, ay,
sometimes they
ay.
still are your problems, but anyways.
Yeah, they still make them part of yours for whatever reason that is. Um,
But yeah,
yeah.
no.
Ay,
I want to hear your perspective because you have children in the picture. So like what is your thought
yeah.
on that?
So I'm gonna start with that because eso es lo que me puse a pensar ahorita when you were talking about like the kids and your wife or your partner, your
Mhm.
husband coming first. I started like thinking about it because if you would have asked me prior to Saya, since I pretty much, I mean, that be helped me with sales a lot, but I pretty much raised sales as a baby by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But now with Saya that I get to experience, like, like an actual, like, partnership on, like, parenting our children.
Yeah.
I, if you would have asked me prior, like I said, I would have said, like, your kids have to come first. Like, and I guess it depends on the situation. But I still want to say that I think you have to put your partner first. And the reason why I say that, and I don't want to go like too much in depth into it, is because now with Saya, David and I have seen a lot of rocky, like really rocky roads. And I feel it's because we're so focused in parenthood and being the best versions we can be for Saya,
Mm-hmm.
that in that process, because we are putting each other as second, we are losing, like, we're struggling, to be like, even, and I don't want to make it seem like it's the worst thing ever, but like, even to like find space for us to connect or to have a conversation
Mm-hmm.
or just to have a connection with each other, like, it's really difficult. And I think it's because we both went with that mindset. Like, ahora que lo pienso, I feel like it's because we went in with that mindset of like, the kids have to go first. Like, our
Mm-hmm.
priority is them. Our priority is for them to be good. Que no les faltemos. Que le podemos dar una buena vida. Que kind of like the breaking cycle things, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the kids that we forget, like, us.
Yeah, each other, definitely. And I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy that you mentioned that because I felt like that was my thought process at the beginning. Like I feel like maybe your kids
Mm-hmm.
should be first, you know? But
Yeah.
now being married, I feel like I see that
Mm-hmm.
I can see why you would lose connection with your partner, your significant other, because you're so focused on the children that you forget to find time for each other. You forget to keep that
Mm-hmm.
connection relationship growing. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you just become strangers, and all
Yep.
because your children were number one. Now, what happens when your children grow up,
Leave.
find somebody, and leave you? You now don't have a connection with either of those people.
And that's the problem. Like, that's what I'm saying. Because, like, and before, when I was like, before prior to Saya, when I would think like your kids come first, is because, like, when you experience parenthood as a single parent, even though you're still co-parent with the other parent, and there's like no connection there anymore, right? There's no reason why you guys are not together anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like that's where I was, like, my priority for the longest time was sales. It, like, everything revolved around him, my
Yes.
decisions, my life, my schedule, my work, my work choices, like my career path, like
Mm-hmm.
everything was so centered around me being able to be like the best version for him, right? As much as I could
Mm-hmm.
try. But now, like, raising a baby with a partner, um it's kind of like, shoot, because I'm like, yes, Saya tiene que estar bien. And by no means, again, like, I fail a lot as a mom, because there's just like, it doesn't come with the, with like instructions.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm constantly like thinking like, how can I make things better for her? How can I
Yeah.
become a better mom for her? How can I become a better person for them? And it's never like, or it's very little moments that I kind of like think about it as like, how can I be a better partner? How
Mm-hmm.
can, like, how can I trust them? Or how it's just like different. And sometimes I do want to say, like, I feel like a lot of parents make this mistake of um like, involucran al papá, like, and I'm obviously speaking from like the girl side, from like either the wife, the female side, the mom.
Mm-hmm.
um that we try to involve our partners or boyfriends or husbands or whatever, into family activities and all of those things, thinking that that's also going to benefit us, like us in our connection. Which, don't, by no means, like, don't take it wrong, it does, because there's like no other better feeling also than seeing like your significant other being like the best dad, and your kids
Mm-hmm.
melting just to see him arrive from work.
Yeah.
That, like, there's a lot of things that don't replace that. But then, like you said, then the kids leave, and then you don't get to witness that anymore. So then, like, what other things do you witness that you're like, oh my god, that speaks to my heart?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think like in your situation, it was like you were so used to just being you two, and then
Uh-huh.
now the second time around, it's like three of you. So like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you split up your time to be able to now provide to two
Mm,
different people? In your situation, three, but typically
yeah.
like first time around, it's like it's hard.
Boy. Yeah. It is hard. It is hard, and there's a lot of things that go into it, but not to say the least, like I feel like in order for like in a relationship of two, like you and your partner, with all of the kids, you can have 100, right? Or you can have one. But I think it's true. Like you guys need to prioritize each other's needs and wants, and like even if it's like a hug or like an I love you or
Yes.
like a little thing. Like there's days that when you become a parent that you forget about that those are normal things
Yeah.
that they even become like so rare and so weird that I'm like, shoot, did I even like me despedí bien? Did I even say bye? And sometimes you're like, I don't even care
Yes.
because you're like rushing through the door with like your children, unos sin
Yeah.
calcetines and whatnot, right? But but I think it's important, and that's a lesson to me, right? Like I'm speaking it out loud, but at the same time, I'm also like obviously placing myself into all those situations where I see myself like not doing
Mm-hmm.
any of those things and I
Yeah.
failing at it pretty much.
Yeah, but I feel like that has to come from your mindset from the
Yeah.
beginning. Because if you are always focused on the kids and your first priority is not your
Mm-hmm.
partner, you're not going to think of like, when was the last time I said I love you? When was the last time we even hugged? You're just constantly like, oh my gosh, when is the kids' next game? When is the kids' next practice? Like anything like that. Like, what time is it? We got to put the kids to bed. But like, you don't think about time with each other.
Yeah. No,
So I
you
feel
don't.
so I feel like it definitely has to do with the mindset, but again, it's not something you think about at the very beginning. You're like wrapped around in life to where like you don't think of who's supposed to come first, who most of your attention is
Yeah.
supposed to go to.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I'm so glad you like brought it up in that way because it's true. You're so wrapped up with life, with daily things, activities, and everything that goes into it that at the end of the night, even if there's like you guys have like an hour and a half, a couple hours to spare with each other,
Mm-hmm.
you're also like, shoot, like, I just kind of want to scroll through my phone today. Or you use it to make like, like, tenemos que ordenar some things, or we have like this thing going on. So, oh, shoot, I forgot to submit the order for that, or the groceries, or
Yeah.
so that you get stuck on your phone. So by the time that you realize an hour has gone by and you're like, yo, I'm exhausted. Peace out. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like we could do such small things. Like, let's both
Mm-hmm.
wash the dishes together. Let's both
Mm-hmm.
fold this laundry together because that all counts as like time
Yeah.
with your partner and just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I mean, again, we
Bonding.
don't have any kids, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
like for me that's easy to say because I can easily be like, okay, come help me wash the dishes or come with me and fold this laundry without any interruptions, but when you have kids running around asking you to do another million things while you're trying to focus on one.
Or that, or them trying to help you, which becomes very cute. But then also, like, sometimes you're like, yo, like, okay, we've been folding the same shirt for like the past hour or the
Yeah.
past 30 minutes, like we need to just get things done. And sometimes that's just hard. Like, sometimes you need the other parent to entertain them while you do house
Yeah.
chores. And
Yeah. I
we're
know.
constantly on survival mode, I feel like.
Definitely.
I know. Pero
But
no.
yeah,
It's hard.
no, it's hard. And now I want to like think about it in the men's perspective because I feel like
Mhm.
you as a wife now, who would you want your partner or your husband to put first?
Hi. Like me or the kids, or me or his mom?
Well, let's do all three cuz you can do all three.
Yeah. So let me just do the mom for me. I agree with you. I'm not gonna go much into it because it's pretty much the same thing. But
Mhm.
I think your wife needs to come first, before para él y para ella. Sabes como que my partner needs to come first to me before my mom, and vice versa.
Yeah.
For him, I like if it was for the guy's version or the husband,
Mm-hmm.
definitely I think like again, I think you need to go first. I think like what you said, right? Like you made a decision to be with me, right? You chose me. It's not like I was given to you, right? That's the other thing with kids, right? Those are just given to you
Yes.
and you have to love them.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom, you have no other choice. That's who was assigned as your mother and you have no other choice.
Yes.
But your partner comes that was your choice. You picked them,
Yes. I'm
out
so
of
glad you said that.
yeah, I feel like people forget that.
Yes, no, and I kind of was hoping that was gonna be your answer because to me it was like I feel like yes, you're like you mentioned the love part. Your son,
Mhm.
your mom's son, so she's gonna love you
Yeah.
regardless of what you do, you know.
Yeah.
So your wife chose to love you, chose to
Mhm.
forgive anything that you do, or
Mhm.
literally continue to love you no matter what. So I feel
Yeah.
like she doesn't have to love you. So why would you not put her
Mm-mm.
first?
Exactly. Like, because we also have to be very careful with that because I think it's so powerful. Like, just how they made the choice to love someone and you choose them to spend your life with.
Hmm.
Así mismo, you can also make that choice to like, you know what, this is not the person I want to be with anymore. And obviously that doesn't just go from de la noche a la mañana. It's like not an overnight thing, but you make a
Hmm.
decision on that. So I feel like that's where you have to be like very conscious as a partner of how you're benefiting and connecting and bonding with your significant other so that it doesn't lead to that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, when I heard that love part, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so true because your mom's
Mm-hmm.
gonna unconditionally love you no matter what, but your
Mm-hmm.
wife doesn't have to always love you, doesn't always have to be there for
Mm.
you.
I put up with your things and your
Yeah,
mom. Yeah, because if
yeah.
something goes wrong, where you keep messing up and messing up, maybe you can keep going back to your mom's or your parents' house,
Hmm.
but definitely not back to your house that you're trying to build because,
Yeah.
to a point you're going to be like, you have the choice to be like, I do not want to continue.
Yeah. Ugh, that's so
So,
hard and so sad at the same time.
it is so sad because if you think about it, like, and I know like relationships end every day left and right, but I feel like when a relationship ends like so easily, it's because one, they probably never loved you, or
Hmm.
you guys never meant anything. It was never nothing serious. But when I think about like a couple, like a relationship that has lasted years, who have gone through like hard stuff and still making it through, when a relationship like that ends, it does make me really sad because I'm like, I know that it's not ending because neither of them tried. It's literally
Hmm.
ending because they're going through like really hard things
Yeah.
that obviously se descuidaron un montón and they're out of love. And how sad is to think that, no? Como que like
Yeah.
they fell out of love.
Yeah. Or they tried everything in their power to try and make it work and it just was not meant to be.
Yeah. So that's when I think I'm like, oh my God, that's so sad because
Yeah.
imagine like picturing your whole future, your whole life with a person, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's like,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
and then to
No.
like rethink everything like by yourself or even with someone else, it just doesn't feel right. And it's like, what the heck are we
Yeah.
doing? So,
Yeah. No, and then that kind of like brings it back to me for the another point because another point that I had seen a lot on social media was like, well, your mom's never going to leave you. Well, yeah, because she's your mom. She can't leave you. Like it's very rare that a mom will like abandon their child and
abandon,
not be
yeah.
for there for them.
Yeah, like it's really rare. Yeah. And that's also very sad. Yeah, so not to mention that just the thought of like your mom abandoning you because again it's not really an option. You're like you
Yeah.
said, your mom is there to keep choosing you and supporting you and loving you because you literally like belong to them. you know
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you would not be here. So yeah, so
But yeah, no, it's just really hard. And I want to think of the other person's perspective as well. Like, what would make
yeah.
somebody choose their mom over your wife, you know? And like,
Mm-hmm.
how would that affect the relationship? Because I feel like constantly it would be like you're running to your mom for everything and then
Mm-hmm.
leaving your wife out of it. Like, that can't be a healthy relationship.
Oh, and I just thought about it the other way around. So it just came to my mind. But what happens when you're in in abusive relationship and you're the woman running to your mom,
Mm.
but you can't leave him because he literally beats you up or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and your mom is there to like listen. And she can tell you like you got to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like you can come back home,
Mm-hmm.
but then the woman doesn't leave because she's like terrified of leaving. Like she knows that if she leaves, like lama, I can't say that word probably here aloud, but she'll pass away in the hands of other significant other. You know what happens
Yeah.
in those situations where it's not a safe, I guess, situation
Yeah.
or relationship, that you keep running back to your mom and they are literally like aconsejándote like leave. You need to leave.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it really just depends, but I mean, I would hope that you
Mm.
don't have to stay in that relationship, you know. You don't have
Yeah.
to put up with that. Like
Yeah,
your
for
mom's
sure.
telling you that for a reason. I feel like that would be
Mm-hmm.
the only exception, like for you to
Yeah.
not put your significant other first, you know.
Yeah. That's why I'm like thinking, I'm like, thank God this is not my situation, just putting it out there. But I'm
Yeah.
like, like just thinking about like I feel like yes, in a normal relationship, like yes, your wife needs to go first.
Mhm.
Your significant other needs to go first. But, there's so many scenarios where you need to be like, okay, see, if they keep telling you the same thing, it's probably for a reason too.
Yes, yeah. No, and I feel like this is more, I mean, the way that I've seen it online discussed more is more like
Mm-hmm.
um if you're married and your mom is constantly telling you how to live your life or something like that, but you
Mm-mm.
already have a life with your wife, like who are you going
Yeah.
to listen to? Who are you going to like make those
Yeah.
decisions with, you know, like your wife or your mom? Or
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't want to think about it in a negative way, like if something was happening and you needed to either save your mom or your
Yeah.
wife, like that would be a very, very hard decision.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
let's not go there. Not right now.
Yes.
I don't know what I would do. Shoot. I hope we're never put in that situation. Like anyone that's listening,
Hmm.
I hope no one, I really wish that was not even a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that would be very, very tough. Very tough.
Uy. That's just like even just thinking about it, I'm like, ya me estresé. Like,
I know, right? Me quedé pensando, like, what would I do? I know. Mejor no. Let's not think
no, ni
about
hay que
that.
pensarlo. I'm like, cancel that. Cruz, cruz, cruz.
Yes. 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 No, but let's turn the subject a little more on like a different side of things. One of the questions that I saw was like,
Mm-hmm.
when your husband is driving, who sits in the front seat? Your mom, their mom, or you? So basically, who sits in the front, the mom or the wife?
I guess that also depends because I would say the wife, like you have to you have to, like una vez mi suegra nos dijo algo como que like, you guys have to go hombro a hombro, always next to each other, side to side.
I love
Siempre tienen que
that.
hombro a hombro. And it kind of stuck with me. And I think it's true. But I will say, like, for example, since obviously, David's family doesn't live here, when we go, I kind of like if it's just the three of us, I'm like, sientes enfrente con David, so they can talk. They haven't talked.
Yes. Yeah.
Like sometimes it's like they probably need to communicate. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna see me every day.
We don't have
Like
anything to talk about right
we
now.
don't have anything. Yeah, like I'll let them bond a little bit, but
Yeah.
I would say that even like his mom does do that. Like no vayas enfrente con David, or like usted
Yeah.
suba allá enfrente, like whatever, and I'll
Yeah.
go with the kids. Um, yeah. What do
Yeah.
you think?
For me, when I first got put in that situation, I don't know. For me, it was more like a respect thing, you know, like, no, usted vayas enfrente, like the front seat for
Yeah.
you, you know, like I didn't mind going in the back. And she was like, no, you have to sit up front with Edward. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I feel bad, like, having you sit in the
Yeah.
back, you know? Like, it had
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with, like, power or anything. I'm just, like, she's older, like
Yeah.
she should sit in the front. Like, why would we put her in the back?
Yeah.
I don't mind sitting in the back, but
Like, that's
I
my
don't
suegra.
know. Yeah, exactly. But she was like the first one to be like, no, you have to sit in the front with him.
Yeah.
Which
And
I
it,
guess that makes sense, but I don't know.
I guess it makes sense. And it also depends. Like, of course, me always thinking because I cannot always just think one way straight.
Yeah.
But there's so many scenarios, right? Like, I feel it also goes with like the type of relationship and respect that your suegra, your mother in law has for you. Because
Hmm.
I feel if it becomes a thing where like they don't respect me at all, I'll be like, you know what, go in the back. Like by
Yeah.
like zero consideration for you. Like
Hmm.
like if we're playing the card of like we do not get along, then you're totally going in the
Mm.
back. Um because I feel like then at that point, that's like an opportunity for her to start like aconsejando cosas a mi pareja, if that was the
Yeah,
situation.
because in a way, she's basically saying like, no, I deserve to be
Mm-mm.
up front with you. She gets to
Yeah.
no, she's like throwing you in the back.
Yeah, yeah, because you wouldn't know that she's doing it like con una mala intención.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pero
The
no, it's hard.
Yes. And it's like stuff we don't really think about because I,
Mm.
like never did it cross my mind that my husband was going to have to make that decision. But I feel like
Yeah,
maybe for us it could be us women can
yeah,
go through that too.
yeah, totally. I guess the other scenario that came to my mind. Does Edward have siblings?
Yes.
So, I don't know if you've ever been put in a situation where, like, what do you do when your significant other, like, you guys are visiting at, like, your suegra's house, and then they say, like, ahí vengo, voy a la tienda, me voy a llevar a, like, mi hermano o mi hermana, and they don't invite you? Or they say, like, tú
Mm,
quédate aquí.
hmm.
Like, do you take that kind of, like, why are you not taking me too? Like, I also like to go into a store, or are you, like, go, like, that's an opportunity for you guys to go? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it just depends, like you said, on what kind of relationship you have with them. Because you can tell if somebody
Yeah.
is doing it out of like a bad motive or if they're
Mm-hmm.
just doing it. I don't know, but I feel like, see, when this type of stuff comes up, I feel like it's up to your partner to make that decision and have your
Mm-hmm.
back. Because if they're not
Yes.
inviting you, then he should be like, come on, you're coming with me, you know? Like,
Yeah,
why
at
would
least
he just
invite you,
leave
like if
you
you
there?
decide. Yeah, like at least if you don't want to go, then by all means stay here. But like have
Mm-hmm.
the respect to be like, quieres venir?
Yes, yeah. But I feel like then it would
Yeah.
depend on your partner to kind of like, it would be, if it's your partner's side, it's like his
Yeah.
responsibility to make you feel included and not allow
Mm-hmm.
them to kind of like push you away, I guess.
Overstep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing that comes with that is like I always feel like uncomfortable staying by myself en una casa que no es mía. I don't know if you get that
Mhm.
feeling.
Yeah. O que no
Like every time
conoces
you go
bien a la
somewhere, then
gente.
you're yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then how do you like make it not awkward? Usually your
You're like,
partner's
¿y de
there
qué le
to
platico?
exactly, that's what I was gonna say. Like usually your partner's the one to kind of like introduce you and like, I don't know, like start the conversation and
Uh-huh.
then include you. Like, but for you, I don't know. I'm not a very
Yeah.
like outspoken person like that. Like I'm not very talkative to where like I can
No.
just start a conversation with somebody that I haven't met, or unless it's like in a group of people
Mm-hmm.
or something. So yeah, it could be very, very awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I always feel like I'm always like, but I don't know, or I do this thing that I just hide in the room, like I start packing or doing the laundry or doing something where I'm like, phew, like away. But I feel like
Remove
that's the
yourself.
main, like I'm like, yeah, like I guess I don't really mind like going, for them to take off. When
Yeah.
I'm put in those situations, but then I'm like, "Y ahora, what do I do if I'm not in my
Yeah.
comfort? I don't know this."
Yeah, and it's like even worse when like you are not in the same age group or you're not like don't have anything in common because then like what do you really talk about with somebody like that?
Oh my god! Or for me, that gets my anxiety up like so crazy is when they're cooking. Y luego tú te quedas ahí cocinando and you're like, I don't even know what you're doing, girl. Like, I don't even know if that thing has like salt in it, which I'm pretty sure every dish in this world has salt in it. But I'm like, girl, like I don't know, like. Yeah. And then they're like, ponte a picar eso, and you're like, and what is that? Like you're just like, please no, like I can't. Gosh. I don't cook at my own house.
I was gonna ask you because that makes me think of like when I'm helping somebody else cook. I feel like I kind of forget how to do things because I'm like, ¿cómo lo va a picar? Like en cuadritos o en rajas? Like, ¿cómo? Like I don't know what you're making.
The
I need to know what you're making.
I hate cutting onion at other houses, and then I always cut this, and then a lot of people leave like la cáscara, and then some people like don't take it off till the end, and then some people just cut off the edges. That's me, and then takes off the cáscara and then la parte la mitad. And oh, I hate cutting onion. Oh my God. Why are we talking about onions? But
I know this conversation just went a whole other route.
Oh my God. But I guess just start wrapping it up because it's getting out of context. But I think it's true. I mean, bottom line is your significant other has to go first. Your wife needs to go first.
Mm-hmm. And we're not just like that because we are the wife or the woman in the picture. Like, I feel like that's just the right thing to do, you know? Like, you're building a life with this new person. Like, they're your number one now at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not only from the wife perspective, right? Like Edward has to be your first, like you said, your lawyer brought it up. Yeah. So this is beneficial to everybody, right? It's like your significant other, you know, like they are just your other half that you chose. So, you know, make up for that. You know, put in the effort.
Yeah. Definitely ask your partners what they think. Like what order would they put them in? And let us know down below. I'm curious to like see what men or other women think of this situation.
I know. So let's do really quick. Like I'll go first. In what order would you put him in though? So for me, I would put my significant other, then my children, and then my mom. How would you do it?
Exactly that same way. Definitely Edward like, first, okay. And then the children, and then my parents.
Yes, I'm like we didn't talk about the order, but I mean we talked about everything in between, but that's the order that would go in.
I think by what we talked about, you can kind of tell where we were headed with it.
Where we're standing with everything. Yeah, no, but this was good. This was good to like really elaborate on because I feel like maybe we have brought it up before or we have seen the question maybe before, but I feel like we have never really like sat down and talked about it.
Yeah, and I feel like for me it was more of like, why is this a question? Like it's more of like common sense, but no, a lot of people actually think differently, so it's a really interesting topic.
Yeah. And yeah, for sure it is. So yeah, like Jessica said, ask your significant others, you know, ask your wife, ask your husband, your boyfriends, like, hey, where do I stand? You know, like if this was the scenario, where would you put me in? Let us know down below. Like, was this? I hope it doesn't trigger any arguments between you guys.
Any breakup separations.
Any breaks. Yeah, definitely no breakups, separations. But let us know. I'm also curious to know if like, or even if you as a woman think different, like also let us know.
Yeah, definitely. Leave us all the responses down below.
Yes, guys. And, you know, again, a lot of love to all of you. A lot of appreciation, really, to all of those who continue to come back and watch us and support us. We really do see it. We want you guys so really. I know I sound like a broken record, but we really do appreciate it.
Yes, we'll never get tired of just telling you guys that we appreciate all the support on Instagram, TikTok, and then here on YouTube too. So yeah, we appreciate you guys so much.
For sure. And with that being said, guys, well, again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, you know, click on the little bell so you guys get notified every time we post. And then share a video. We really do appreciate, you know, sharing and just spreading the love and all of the loqueras that we have to share with the world.
Yes. All of our different topics too.
And our points of views, aquí nuestras agarradas. But
I know. Yeah, but thank you so much, and we hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you guys next week.
We'll see you next week, guys. Bye.